back in the 50s and 60s, he was a voice for the teenagers of that time. Well, those teenagers are today adults. They grew up with Elvis through his music and whatever he did, because he didn't bring messages to people. That was one thing he would not do. He himself said, I'm here to entertain. If I make people happy, fine. So the idea that we've been called all kinds of names, you know, hangers-on, moochers, bloodsuckers, and we just smile at those. Yeah.
What else?
I said they're all true.
When he had breakfast at 5 o'clock in the evening, that's when he had it. But he'd call me like 4 or 5 in the morning when he wanted me. And one particular morning, especially when he turned 40, I knew that he was upset at the fact that he had turned 40, thinking that perhaps you fans might look upon his old age. I know, but that's the way he thought. So I had to talk to him. He said, this is at 5 in the morning. Ed, this is Elvis. I said, yeah, I know. He said, how do you know? I said, who in the world calls me at 5 in the morning? So I talked to him at length, and I said, no matter whether you're 45 or whatever, because I'm much older than Elvis. You know, and I'm talking about that. He always used to tell me to use, in the United States we have a thing called Grecian Formula 12, which you, when you comb your hair, you got it. And he always would say, Ed, why don't you use Grecian Formula 12? Because of my gray hair. I said, why, Elvis? Don't you like older men around you? Elvis and I would get into many, many discussions in his bedroom, at his Beverly Hills home, on the aircraft. And then as he started to listen to my concepts and my beliefs, over and above the martial arts, my religious convictions, my understanding of politics, and other subjects such as flying saucers and things of that nature, he began then to really come out and tell me his true feelings, looking at it from the standpoint of financial gain. Many of us would envy him. But if you were to stay and live with him like I did, which I'm sure many of you would have wanted to do, perhaps in a more intimate manner than I, you would realize that the man was a prisoner of his own environment. He realized it, but he said, I guess the good Lord meant it to be, and he accepted it.
When he first became famous, if you will, I always had the feeling that Elvis was like a little kid going to the toy store and Santa Claus said, you can have all the toys in the world, you know. There's no cost factor here anymore. He had the money, he could buy everything with. I don't know, you know, I think that a lot of people feel in their hearts that he's not dead, really. You know, and as has happened in a lot of cases, there are people who say that's not Elvis, isn't that great, that's someone else, and he's gone off to escape, you know, all the pressures of life and everything. It was truly him in the casket, you know, but there are just people who refuse to believe these days, and there are people who just they think that his spirit will forever live.
Well, I think I actually started noticing a change in Elvis in '72. He was having his problems with Priscilla at the time. Of course, in '73, the divorce came about. I feel like this was really the very beginning, perhaps, that Elvis was probably always in control, seemingly. Everybody that surrounded him, but we're talking about men, and it seems very strange that someone couldn't have